Legion, I'd consider running something along the lines of this, right? There are quite a few possible different options. If I was running this and I wanted to go for a 4K as Legion, it can be done, and it can be done pretty easily. When you hit someone, make sure you have your Spirit's Fury up with the knife going through the pallet. You'll recover, and then you'll be able to M1 securing one hook. But remember, you got to build up the pallets and pressure for that. But pallets do get dropped pretty often against Legion. If you're looking in terms of add-ons, now obviously you've got the best add-on in the game, which is Frank's Mixtape. Don't get me wrong, Frank's Mixtape and the Filthy Blade work disgustingly well together, but you can run one without the other. You can go Filthy Blade without Frank's Mixtape and still have a powerful combo. There is a big difference between considerably and moderately here, chat. I would honestly recommend, if I was going to be using the lower tier add-ons, not the higher tier, because God knows how many of these you have. You're trying to get to rank 1 as Legion. Be smart when it comes to your hooks, right? You can pip and not kill anyone as Legion. That just comes down to how many times you hook everyone, right? Do try and eliminate a player before 2 generators are done. There are a few alternatives in terms of builds. I'll quickly talk about those right now instead of talking about add-ons. Now, as Legion, you can see, normally I recommend something to protect the generators, which is Ruin in this case, something to speed up the game in your favor, which is Enduring in this, and something to clutch the game in terms of save the best for last, Sloppy Butcher. I mean mid-tier clutch, not N-tier like no, at mid-tier. You've got quite a few options. Make your choice in there, save the best for last, Sloppy Butcher, but Legion doesn't really benefit from any of those kind of playstyles. So having a look right now in terms of the choices you can have Ruin, Monitor and Abuse, Enduring, Spirit's Fury. That is what I would comfortably run. Alternatively, you can run Ruin, Monitor, Bloodhound, and Discordance if you want to know where 2 people are. If you're running something like that, you need to have Monitor and Discordance. The closer you get, the more likely you are going to be able to hit 2 different people when it comes to your ability. This being said, your next option would be Monitor, Ruin, Pop Goes the Weasel, and Discordance. That way you can stop gen regression if you're really struggling with how quickly the games are getting completed too. Because remember, running Ruin is like rolling a dice. You might win, you might lose. You might get it, you might not get it. It might be broken, might not be broken. Alternatively, you have the option of Thanophobia. Thanophobia isn't a great perk. Massive stacks of Thanophobia. If you have everyone under the effect of Thanophobia, you're going to be looking at about 8 seconds regression on generators when a Jenny takes 80 seconds to do. That's quite easily counted by a toolbox, which is 10% faster, 8 seconds off. I mean, sure, it's a little bit more on Thanophobia, but that being said, just do the light math. That is very easy to counter, and you need everyone hurt for that. And if you want everyone hurt with Thanophobia, you don't really want them healing, so you're going to probably want Sloppy Butcher too. Now you've got 2 perks there. Now you're going to want something to slow down the game as well, so you're looking at Ruin. Now what? You've got 1 perk left. What are you going to do with that final perk? You can make it work. You could go Bloodhound. There's a lot of options for you to run, but the safest, most sanctum bet, if you're going to be playing Legion, you're going to be going for the 4K, in my opinion, is this. Now, this is my build in terms of no add-ons. If I was running add-ons and I wanted to go full Sweatlord, I got the best add-ons, I got the best things on the table, I know what I can do, I know what I can't do, believe it or not, I would be running this one right here. Now, why would I run this? The second you break a pallet, it gives you a stack for Spirit's Fury. That would help so fucking much. And your other perk, depends on what you want. You can go for faster downs with Mixtape. You can go for moderately longer Frenzy, less Frenzy, cool duration, movement speed. That entwines so fucking well with Spirit's Fury on Legion. But you're not going to be an absolute sweatboard every game. You're not going to have enough of those add-ons to get you down to rank 1. So if you're going to be looking at the lower tier right here, man, moderately decrease the power gauge depletion after a 6th vessel hit. Not that great. You don't really care about that. So don't worry about the smiley pen. We're going to move on to the next one right here. Moderately decrease the time required to fill the power gauge. That is really good, because that means the entire time that you can be moving around, that's going to be affecting. Now, if you're stacking that with movement speed, you're going to be in a pretty damn good spot. So there you go. Moderately increased Feral Frenzy. This combo right here, I'm not going to try and sell you and tell you it's the best combo, but this can work really well because it moderately increases how long you can Frenzy for and moderately decreases. So it decreases the flat base of what it is. Alright, so if it takes 15 seconds to build up, now it's going to take 12 seconds, even if it lasts for 9 seconds instead of like 7 seconds. You know what I mean? The math turns out that it comes down to the fact that running these 2, you do not get the diminishing return penalty that you would assume that, you know, oh, because it takes moderately longer. It's moderately increased duration. All that means is consumption rate. Okay, say it consumes 0.05 every second. This makes it consume 0.03 every second. You still have the set time, but the timer looks like it's longer. Do you know what I mean? Rather than anything else. It's like Streetwise, essentially. This is my understanding of it. So we're going to move on to another good combo. If we're going to move up, we'll move back down 1 tier. In terms of brown add-ons, doesn't matter. Slightly decrease the time to fill. Piece of shit. Doesn't really matter. I mean, if you're gonna run 2 Browns, this is your combo right here. Realistically, this would be a really good one to have too. Never Sleep pills. It's great. Moderately increase the Feral Frenzy movement speed. The faster you are, the more likely they are to pull down a pallet, and you're going to be able to lunge through and get a hit with Spirit's Fury. But even if you're going to be running something like the Never Sleep pills alongside moderately increased duration, great combo. That's to get you across the map if you need to, and to hit people if you need to. This kind of combo right now is more of a chase kind of thing. You know, you want to get the one guy down and then rotate. You don't want to do that on Legion. You've got to be smart. You need to see a window of opportunity and take it. Kappa on the perk right there. Alternatively, if we're going to go up a tier right now to the yellow tier, you've got considerably decreased the power depletion after you hit someone. All that means is if you hit someone, the time is going to stop for a second or slow down, kind of like Mad Grit. Doesn't really matter too much the pin. Considerably increase the movement speed of Feral Frenzy. Now, if you stack that alongside the Never Sleep pill bottles, now you're moving pretty freaking quick. It says it doesn't stack, but I don't know, man. You be the judge. This being said, considerably increases the Feral Frenzy duration. Then you're looking at a pretty damn powerful build right here. You can entwine both the yellow and the green together, and it works fine. But this is coming down to the fact that you are relying on having this build. You've told me you've pretty much got every perk on Legion. This is kind of the masterpiece build that you can go for. A lot of people will be like, Spirit's Fury Enduring, why would you run that on Legion? So when you hit someone through the pallet, Spirit's Fury, and then you can recover an M1 and just down him straight away rather than anything else. It's a very smart play. A lot of high tier players won't drop the pallet unless they're about to go down. That's true. Wherever there's smart people, there's also not so smart people. So you might be able to bully out Spirit's Fury on one guy and then go to a different player and then hit him once and then go for another hit, make it look like you're farming him through the pallet, wait for the hit, don't even hit him, let him pallet stun you, and then M1 him down. Be smart about it. If he doesn't pull the pallet down and he runs right through, you go right through and you M1 him with your ability. Now you try and save your Spirit's Fury. Do you know what I mean? There are so many good alternatives and plays for this kind of build. Moving on, moderately increase the mending time. This is pretty much Floppy Butcher, but guaranteed to work. You hit someone with a knife, it's going to take him a long fucking time to mend. If you're going to be running the Nasty Blade, I do recommend either Strider or Bloodhound, depending on what you want to play, so you can track the blood, be a piece of shit, look down at the blood, turn your camera and look away. You know, you can follow the scratches without looking at them. A good survivor can counter that, though, by blocking your line of sight around the corner, and you're like, fuck, where did he go? And the second you look up to actually, because you can't see him, you can't see any movement, no shadow, no nothing, he pops his head right back out, starts chase, runs around the corner again, he's in chase for 7 seconds, he's prolonged his life. I do it all the time against Legion. Do I like versing Legion? Fuck no. Do I like playing him? He's interesting. He's interesting. I can understand how he can be good, but I still think he's a sack of shit. Moving on right now to Joey's mixtape, moderately decrease the cooldown duration of Feral Frenzy, another great add-on. You're looking at, whatever you are looking at in terms of down here is good, is here too. So if we're going to go through Joey's mixtape, yes. Nasty Blade, yes. Stolen Sketchbook, yes. Movement speed, yes. Button, no. Fuck the button. Nobody wants the button. The button sucks. There's only one good button, and that's the iridescent button. You don't really care about Legion's pin button, you don't care about the defaced smiley fucking button, and you don't really give a fuck about the smiley pin badge or the pin button. Fuck more. That can work out really well and in your favor if you